Hi, this is Tracey from GiftBasketAppeal, and today we're going to be making a beautiful Christmas card using this pretty napkin. So let's get started. I really love this napkin. Each square is 5 by 5, and I got this at one of the grocery stores. And so I want to use the whole thing. I think the napkin is just shy of 5 inches. And so when I open it up, look what I've got. See, I never knew that it had this white part here too, so I could use that for a card base as well. But I'm going to use this one with the red. So I'm going to separate the napkin, but before I separate it, I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. And when you're cutting the napkin, because I want it to look neat, I'm just taking my time and just cutting along the edge here. And so you don't want to separate it first because the napkin becomes extremely delicate. So you want to cut first and then separate. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this away and just kind of take my time doing it. So I'm just going right on that line because I want it to fit my 5 by 5 base. Okay, so some of you may have seen me do this process where I separate, but for those of you that might be tuning in, I'm just going to show you again. In order to separate your napkin, you could either wet your fingertips or you could use some tape. So I'm just going to take this tape and just put it right close to the edge here. And you don't want to pull too much, let's say. Okay. I don't think I was pressing on there enough to get that off. So now here it comes. I'm just pulling it away. And I'm putting the tape on this back side. Don't put it on that side because you'll have a problem then with your napkin. I'm just taking my time. And this napkin seems a little bit harder to separate than other napkins. So I'm just taking my time pulling this away. And the reason why I'm pulling this away is because I want the napkin to lay smoothly on this card base. And I also want the red color and that wreath color to really pop and be very vibrant. Okay, so now I've got it ready to go here. Just seeing how this is going to look. And I may end up trimming down the edges after, the little white edges on the sides. I'm not sure yet. So let me go ahead and put that aside for a moment. And we're going to get this card base glued up. You don't have to use a whole lot of glue, but you need this to be every spot to have glue on it so that the napkin lays down smoothly. And you don't want those clumps in there either. So I'm just kind of going and smoothing out any of those clumps I might get. And this is actually the Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength glue stick. To me, this one actually seems to work the best. Okay, and I can see that it's covered when it's real shiny. I can see that the whole thing is covered. So sometimes I have to kind of tilt it to the side just to make sure, because it's kind of white glue on a white surface. You won't be able to see it all the time. And this napkin came from one of the grocery stores. I just happened to see it and I was like, oh, that would be great for a Christmas card. Okay, I just want to make sure this is all covered. I'm going to get my fingers on there. And it's okay if it curls up a little bit. It does that at first. And then it kind of flattens itself out. Or sometimes I'll put something on top of it to kind of lay it right down so that it stays. Okay, so let me just get a good view of this so I can actually see this. So I'm going to lay it right here. And I'm just going to gently adhere it with my hands for right now. But then I'm going to kind of turn it over and press it into a flat surface. So I'm just adhering it for right now like this. And then I'm just going to turn it over now and really smooth this out. Okay. And so when I turn it back over, it should be nice and smooth on there. And there's what it looks like. Look at that. Beautiful greeting card. It's really sticking down there. Let me see. See this little area right here? I may have skipped that part with the glue, and I want you to see that because you can just always kind of go in just a little bit with some glue. Apply a little bit of glue there. I'm just going to turn it over and just smooth down that one little spot. No worries on that. Okay, so that's what we got. Look how pretty. Now, an idea that I have for this is to kind of do a 3D effect. So what I did was I took another piece of napkin, used the same technique on a piece of cardstock, and all I did was fussy cut the wreath out so I can actually do a little 3D thing on here. So that was just an idea I had. I said, oh, that'll be cute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go ahead and put some mounting tape on here. Because it looks good just like this. But I just wanted to do that little extra something. So we're going to put a couple of mounting squares on here. Give this some dimension. And it's well worth it. Okay, I'm going to peel the backing off of these. Okay, and I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on this since it's so large. I want that to really lay down on there. I'm going to adhere it on here. Just line it up. Press that down on there. And if I want, I can put a little banner sentiment on there. I'm going to put my sentiment on the inside of this card. And look at that. I'll just show y'all what that looks like. Look how pretty that is. Now, another thing I did was I did the same technique to the bow. Put it on some cardstock because I wanted the bow to have a little bit of dimension as well. And so now I'm going to take the bow and mount it on top of there. So you can keep building on it. And so this is just an idea. You can do this, it doesn't have to be a holiday napkin. You can do this technique with any of your napkins just to give it some dimension. Let's see. Okay. And now I'm going to just go ahead and put a little bit of glue on there again and pop this on here. And now I've got another effect on there. Look at that. And so the bow looks like it's got, I just put it just a tiny bit off kilter. You can see what that looks like. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so now if I want, I can take some of my liquid stickles Or I can, like my Stardust stickles, and add some shine to this. I can also take some of these. Let me just see what it looks like. I'm not going to glue them down yet. Let's see how these look. Take some pearls and add to these white pearls on here. See, there's about 3 or 4 of them. So if I wanted to just kind of add them on there, I can. Just giving you another idea what you can do. It wants to stay on there. So I'm just moving them just to see what it would look like before I glue them down. They actually look the same exact size. They really do. They're almost the same size as these. See, I think that one is just a tiny bit larger. Put one over here. And I think I like that. I'm liking that. So I'm going to go ahead and put those pearls on there. So this card is going to have quite a few elements on it. I'm going to use my my art glitter glue to glue those down. Okay, so our pearls are all added in, and those look so pretty. I wish you could see this in person. It adds that little bit of dimension to it. And I'm going to take my my glitter drops. Let's see. I'm going to just test it out on this. I have a little piece here. See what it looks like. So I usually get heavy-handed with this. And these dry like pearls. So that looks kind of like snow. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Alright, let's see. We also have these stickles. Let me see what this looks like on here too. And you could tell I use this a lot because there's hardly any left in here. Yeah, so this one is just about done. So rather than struggle with that, let's see, this one is the glitter drops in, this is Ruby Slippers. Let's see how that looks against there. Now sometimes you just have to test things out, see what it looks like. Okay, let's see if I can unclog this one. Looks like it's a little bit clogged up there. Okay, and there it goes. That doesn't show as much, but I bet I can use it just to enhance these little red, just to enhance the red balls here. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. Just a little bit on there. Just adding tiny elements of glitter. So rather than use this like as a pearl, I'm just kind of dragging it just a little bit. And you might not be able to see this very well since it's kind of like a red on red, but it looks so pretty, and then it adds texture to this napkin. Oh my goodness, I'm loving the way this looks. I really wish you could see this, like really good. I'll hold it up to see if you can get a little bit of a glimpse of this. I'm just going to use my finger just a little bit. I want that to kind of spread out a little bit more. You can use like a tiny brush if you want. I like using my fingers. Okay. And how about, let's see, See what we can do with this one right here. Maybe add a little bit on here. See, I'm going outside of this now. Just add a few of these in the corner here. Just so it looks kind of like snowflakes. Maybe some right here. Let me let you see what that looks like. Let me put a few over here. Just to add something else in there. And I do have some, this one is actually the White Blizzard. This one is the Ruby Slippers. This was Stardust, but that didn't work out, so that's okay. And this one is like a gold, so if I wanted to add some gold in there, I could. But I think I'm going to leave it just like this. I don't think I'm going to add anything else onto this. I think it looks great just the way it is. Let's see if you can, I don't know if you can see that. I added the red right just on the baubles there. And that's our card. I'm going to do the, it's still drying. I'm going to do the inside with just a sentiment, or I like to handwrite my stuff. So another idea you can do is put a banner somewhere in the middle here, or some maybe coming across this way. That's just another idea that you can do with it. But I hope this gave you just a little bit of inspiration to make your own. I may even cut some of this, the sides off of here. I kind of like that white outline. This right here is coming up just a little bit. And so to correct that, I'm just going to go in. That means I didn't put enough glue around the sides. Just like that, and just lay it down. Just like that, and let it dry. So I hope you like this idea. I might end up putting a sentiment across the top. I'm not sure yet. I kind of like the way that dimension is in there. And if you haven't subscribed to our crafty family, go ahead and subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.